Hi, welcome to this video on percent change. We are looking in your book on starting on page 158, but you don't have to necessarily open your book just yet. Just want to talk to you about the problem first. And we are doing lesson 3-4, solving percent change and percent error problems. So here we go. So here's a problem about an alligator, and this alligator has grown in the year. So percent change describes how a quantity, how an amount, has changed relative compared to its original amount. So the percent change can be an increase or it can be a decrease. And so let's look with the percent change of this alligator's length. What you're going to find is that whenever we're using percent problems, we're going to use the same equation to help solve them. And so since what we're looking for is the percent change here, we are going to use our percent equation, that the part equals the percent times the whole. So what does that mean in this problem? Like, what's the part, what's the percent, and what's the whole? Well, the part is the change. That's a piece of what's happening. The percent is the percent change, and the whole is the original. So the original is the 100%, the whole amount. So if we use this, then this will help us solve these problems. I like to use the different colors to help, and it kind of goes along with the book, except your book uses slightly different colors. You can open up to page 158 now. So in order for us to find the percent change, we have to first find the change. That's key. We don't have the change in our answers. Right now, we only have the original amount the alligator was last year and the new amount, but we don't know the change. We have to find that first. So to find the change, we take the new measurement of the alligator and we subtract the original measurement. And I know which one is new and which one's old based on time. So last year happened before this year. So that means that the new measurement would be, for the alligator, be 38 inches, and the original was 32. When I subtract those, that's going to give me the change. And it's a positive change because the alligator's gotten bigger. So we have a 6 inches positive change. Now that's not the percent, that's the number of inches. So next, I have to find the percent change by using the percent equation. So what I've done is, as you look before, you have change equals percent change times original. Underneath each of those things, I filled in the number that represents that here. 6 is the change, the 6 inches that the alligator grew. P is the percent change because I don't know that yet, so I filled it in as a letter. 32 is the length the alligator was a year ago, so that's what the original is. Then I just kind of smushed it, so it's all together. So 6 equals something, P, times 32. Well, that seems strange that I'm multiplying 32 by something and then my answer is small, like 6. But we know that when we multiply by a percent or a decimal, then our product is going to be smaller. So that's why it makes sense, because what the answer we have is going to be a percent. So let's solve this equation. So this is a one-step equation. You've already learned how to solve these. The opposite of multiply is to divide. So we're going to divide both sides by 32 so that I'm really doing the change here divided by the original amount. So 6 divided by 32. And when I do that, I get this decimal. And it's actually a terminating decimal. But to change it into a percent, we move it 2 spaces to the right. So 1, 2, and I get 18.75%. And if you're looking on page 158, you can see that that is the answer they have in the book. So next you're just going to do this, sorry that it's small, you're going to do the try it. And the try it says the original quantity is 10. So they're telling you the original. That's why it's down here in the red. The new quantity is 13. See how that's increased? What is the percent change? Well, notice how these bars, the 10 is smaller than the 13. So how much did it increase? What's the change? That number goes here. So the change in this case would be 3, because from here to here is 10. See how 10 and 3 together is the 13 to make the whole bar? So the change, and I can do it by subtraction. I take the new amount, 13, and I subtract the original amount, 10, and I get a change of 3. So remember, this is where the change goes. The change equals the percent times the original amount. So the change is 3. Oops, 3. It says 3. The percent we don't know. So what was the original? Well, the original was 10. So to solve this equation, you would divide, because you're going to do the opposite. So you'll divide both sides by 10, and then you'll get a decimal of 3/10. So what percent is that? Well, remember, when we have a decimal, and we've probably done lots of these, to change it to a percent, we move the decimal 2 places, always 2 places to the right. So this is 30%, a 30% increase.